Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all and welcome to the channel. In this video, we will begin our setup for using Git. As we mentioned, Git is an example of a distributed, or as I prefer to call it, a decentralized version control system. To use Git, we need to download it, then install it. Once we do that, then I can teach you how to actually use Git. To use Git, we need to download it, but technically speaking, we will not actually download Git itself. We will download this program here. This is called Git Bash. This is the command line interface for interacting with Git. Git Bash, unfortunately, uses the Linux interface. Linux is a type of operating system similar to Windows and Macintosh. I say unfortunately because those who are unfamiliar with Linux may struggle with using Git Bash. However, I will try my best to simplify the setup for you, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, to the best of my ability. So do not worry if you are unfamiliar with Git. Knowledge in Git is knowledge in Linux is unnecessary. However, it would be extremely helpful for you if you actually know certain commands for the Linux terminal, because they can be used here in the Git Bash terminal. This is what we will be downloading. So we will close this, you will click on this button and then download based on your architecture. I believe all computers now are 64-bit, so we will download that. Okay. I will pause the video and then resume once the download finishes. It seems that I have an issue with my connectivity at the moment. I will return shortly. Okay, it has finished downloading. I will double click this and run it, because there is an important part in the setup that I would like to show you. Keep the default settings. Unless, for example, this is not selected, you can select it, it would help. This is the important step here. Once you arrive at this menu, or this window I should say, click on the drop-down menu and choose Use Visual Studio Code as Git's default editor. We will discuss what this means later. However, if you know what Visual Studio Code is, but you use a different editor such as Sublime or Atom, feel free to use those. You can use Notepad, but personally I prefer one of these three options. So you can use Sublime Text, you can use Atom, or use Visual Studio Code as Git's default editor. I believe the default option is this one, use Vim or VIM. I hate that text editor. I know some people will disagree with me, but honestly, I detest VIM, so I never use it. Also, I just saw that you can use Node++ instead of Visual Studio Code, Sublime, or Atom. It depends on what you wish to use. I normally use Visual Studio Code, so I will leave this as it is. Then keep everything as the default setting and it will install it for you. I cannot install it because I already have it installed. Once you have it installed, then we will set up your username and email, because you will be publishing your repositories to an online repository for others to see if you wish to share it, obviously. So we must have user info that people can identify when they look at the repositories, in addition to the fact that this information will also be available for pull requests or merges. We will discuss these later, obviously. And that is it for this video. The next video will show you how to configure your username and email for your global settings. Then after that episode, bi'idhnillah and God willing, we will actually create a repository and continue the tutorial from there with different Git commands. Just ensure that once you have it installed, yes, exit setup, you are able to run this window here. We will continue with the setup in the next episode, inshallah, bi'idhnillah and God willing. But for now, we will cover the installation and the text editor as we have seen. I hope this video was helpful and beneficial to you all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Be safe, take care, and peace be upon you all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka hamidun majid.